So it's that funny drinking a hot beer.
All right, everybody, come on in, have a seat, get settled in. We're going to get started here very soon. Hey, welcome to the April meeting. I'm taking over for Ryan today. He's traveling. He sent me a list of where he's going. I don't remember. It's all over the place. So what did everybody bring today? Anybody bring some homebrew?
Brought myself.
All right. What'd you bring?
Not a sizer.
A sizer? Cool. Anything else or just the honey and apple juice?
It's a triple berry.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Anybody else bring anything for us today?
Like again, brought a Westie IPA.
Cool.
So it's not that great.
Well, thanks for bringing it for
I'll
us.
take any you don't.
We've got a new ginger beer out there. It's blueberry mango.
Ooh, I missed that one.
It's good.
I missed that one. Okay, I'm not gonna take cleanup volunteers. Well, whoever's here is gonna help me, so. So upcoming events, Parkville. It's a little sad story with Parkville. So, Missouri decided to enforce existing laws or interpret them differently than they have in the past. Kansas breweries that do not distribute to Missouri will not be able to go to Parkville, as well as homebrew clubs. So homebrew clubs from Kansas will not be able to serve at all. So we're not going. Yes.
I wrote them an email when I was drinking.
Did you get a response? You did.
Sure.
This was to Warren?
No, I didn't send
Somebody.
it. I didn't put LBG on it. I just stated my dissatisfaction. And I said, you know what? You tout yourself as being one of the largest Kansas City Brew Fest. I said, you may have to not say that after all these people can't come and serve and whatnot.
It's true.
And they sent me back an email that said, well, instead of like 70 breweries, we're gonna have 58. Well, when I went back and counted, it's only 55. But they did say they were gonna have 7 brew clubs. But how can Missouri brew clubs serve when they don't distribute their beer?
That's a great question, one which I'm not sure they have the answer to. I think
they were scared and just decided
yeah.
not to even deal with it.
Right.
I think we should put tariffs on Missouri beer.
No,
No, but I think they were just scared by the whole Kansas thing and they just, they probably asked them and said, what if we don't allow the Kansas home brewers? They, yeah. And they just said, okay.
but Missouri home brewers don't distribute.
Oh,
either.
I know. We read all the beer forms. And
Yeah, I think it's one of those areas that is someplace they don't want to find out where the legal line is. They just don't want to have to deal with it. Yeah.
Either way, it's not.
I agree. That was a great festival for us to go to. So it's going to be sad that we won't make it, but we do have Pints for Pets coming up. May Happy Hour is at 23rd Street, so you don't want to miss that one. A little bit about Pints for Pets. I got a slide on it. I'll talk about it. Also one for Great Taste and also Brew Fest coming up September 27th. So we talked about Parkville. Okay, so Pints for Pets. Same location as it was last year. I'll be doing two flights like I did last year. So if you want to donate and you want to come at the beginning and get your keg back early before the end of the night, then you can sign up for the first flight and vice versa. If you want the second flight, Just sign up for that, and you can just let me know, what you have. You can, send me a message or talk to me, whatever works best for you. It will be ticketed, and the Humane Society, I don't have any information from them yet, but they should be setting up ticketing for anybody who doesn't volunteer or donate beer. If you want to buy a ticket, there will be tickets sold through them. But if you donate a keg or volunteer, you will be able to come for free, basically. And it'll be, the food's covered again, and we've got some great bands. I'll announce at the next meeting. But at least one returning act that we really liked last year. Great Taste of the Midwest. So this is another fantastic festival. We have some tickets. I don't know how many tickets we have left to sell. Do we know? We have 4. Wow, well done. Well done. So 4 tickets. They're allotted to the club to sell. So if anybody is interested, speak up now, because the club will have to sell those probably like on Facebook or something if we don't move them in the next couple months. But that is we're doing them through the club this year, so you can pay to the club. It's not individual coverage situation like it's been in the past. Okay, treasurer report. What have you got for us today, Greg?
Okay, so still trying to get everybody get dues paid. We do have, you'll see here in a minute, I think I got on the slide, we do have membership cards available for paid members tonight and people that want to pay for their memberships. Currently, including the officers and stuff, we have 23 paid members. So not a lot of activity this last month really, but we had membership dues paid of $75, interest of 18 cents on our savings account for a total of $75.18. We did collect $210, and I got another $140 tonight for the Great Case of the Midwest. It's currently in our cash balances. March expenses still really light as well. Internet services for the month, PayPal fees, had membership cards printed. So total expenses were about $54. Here's what we said currently, savings a little over $4,000, checking $2,392, PayPal $389, cash $373, a total of about $7,160 total. And $210 of that is money that's been collected for Great Taste that's going to be paid back out. As mentioned earlier, there's 15 tickets that the club reserves, each year. I said 13 tickets are spoken for. I think there were kind of like 13 people that said they kind of wanted one, but then there was only 11, I think, that have actually signed up to this point. So not sure exactly where that stands. Okay, and I've got a couple that were paid tonight, so there's really 5 of the 11 that have been paid now, and you need to get the rest of paid if you are planning to attend that event.
Hello. I don't have much to report, so if you would like to make any book suggestions or have any ideas, let me know. And that's about it.
Have books.
We do have books. They are out. Look at them.
Cool. Thank you for setting the books out. And that's good to have those going again. Okay, so I think we are skip that. So Julia, I think we are about ready for you. So we are lucky enough to have Julia Hertz with the American Homebrewing Association here tonight to talk with us. She'll be speaking remotely, so we'll get to test out the Zoom system. She is the executive director. She's an author, obviously a home brewer. She has been homebrewing since 1994. She's also an advanced Cicerone, a BJCP judge. And the book that she co-authored, Beer Pairing, The Essential Guide from the Pairing Pros. Is that something that we have in our library? That might need to get added to our list. Okay. Okay, Julia, can you hear us okay? Go ahead and tell us where you are right now.
Hi, everyone. You hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Way to go, Jake, and technology. Wow, that top screen's really wild. You still with me though?
Yep, we can see you now.
Okay,
Almost.
excellent. Well, I'm in multiple screens. That is all good. I do a lot of these virtual presentations, and it's always something fun and quirky. And I am talking to you today from Chicago. I just flew in here. I'm based outside of Boulder, Colorado in Lyons, where the original Oscar Blues Brewery started. And I'm here to attend the judging for one of the 7 states that the AHA has events in March and April for first round national homebrew competition. So tomorrow I'll be judging at Dovetail Brewery with the team in Chicago, whose entries went up 25% this year. Definite bump there. We lessened the local first round locations from 9 to 7. So Chicago, I think, saw a bump from that. And I'm ready and jazzed to present to y'all. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Thank you for that feedback. Excellent. And so I've been your executive director for a little over 3 years, since December 2021. And I'm a true home brewer. My bio is the real deal, and I've been brewing since my 20s. I love your website where you all talk about your kind of mentor, and it kind of references the fact that, you know, what Charlie Papazian is to home brewing is, you know, your, excuse me, Dwight Burnham's role in the local scene in your all's club. That's kind of a cool thing. In my cross country trip in my 20s, I had worked at CNN Washington, D.C. Bureau out of college, and it was a great experience, but I quit. It wasn't for me. And so I told my parents I was going on the road, and I did cross country. And I stayed in Colorado for a bit and eventually ended up moving there. And I was at a beer festival, and Charlie Papazian of the American Homebrewers Association, our founder, was there too. And he picked my name out of a top hat to win a membership to the American Homebrewers Association. And that was fate and pretty damn cool. A couple hundred people at that fest. The reason it was meaningful is because I wasn't just like out of nowhere getting introduced to homebrewing. I was already homebrewing before that cross country trip and before that AHA membership. And then as soon as I started getting Zymergy magazine, it really influenced and helped me in many ways. And today we still publish Zymergy. If you all get it, get the print version. Don't opt out and just get digital. It'll be worth it. You could wait to spend, wait 6 months to read the issue we send you, or read it right away. But those issues are gold. And we are very proud of the body of work. And so one of the things I've learned to do in these talks, and I'm going to talk for like 15 minutes, and then I'd love to learn more and have a dialogue with you all. You're out on your Thursday night to learn something, and so am I, beaming in to learn something from you. So what I really want to do is just give you a big picture of your national organization. It's going through changes. I can talk about that more in depth. Anything I share is kind of a top level thing, and I'll tease it with, say, we can talk when we talk after I'm done speaking more in depth about any of the topics. But the American Homebrewers Association going independent is it's a big deal. We're changing the status of the organization, leaving our parent organization that we actually started, the National Brewers Association. And there's a lot for members and homebrewers to be aware of. And so before we get into all that, I'll try to successfully share screen. Shoot, it's not giving me an option to do that, Jake. Let's see. I did want to share a slide. Jake, if it doesn't, because we did talk, I think I asked for share screen. Oh, here we go. My bad. Forgive me. I sent you the request. Can you approve the request to share screen?
Should be all set.
Sweet. Thank you so much. So let's give it a go here. So it's just one slide, easy peasy, and it's very informative. Can you all see this kind of ecosystem slide with the light bulb in the middle and the AHA logo?
Yep.
Great. So, when we last year, and it was kind of 2 years in the making, we're discussing the AHA's future and how we can evolve the organization, modernize it, and do what we need to do, because the AHA is a generational institution. I'm fully resolved in that. We learned a lot more than we already knew about the homebrewing market, and we also were able to confirm from member, non-member survey to 3,000 plus respondents. We did a STEEP analysis that's looking at the social, technological, environmental, economic, and political environment. We did stakeholder interviews. I sent our strategic team that was doing this research to both really big fans of the AHA that were members and members that are highly critical of us and that we've lost. And they rolled that all up to a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And from that, it was confirmed that there is demand and need for a national organization that represents homebrewers' interests. And I truly believe you, Lawrence Brewers Guild, are a big reason for that. The 1,700 or so homebrew clubs that we have on homebrewassociation.org, and you all meeting on your regular basis. And I loved learning a little bit while you're talking your club news and reports and events. Homebrew clubs are an anchor and a big deal. And so one thing that you would see coming from the research and our learnings once we are independent and operating as a 501c3 instead of the current 501c6 status that we're under is we're going to be looking to give club officers and clubs more support. AHA is definitely the ones that already do that, but we don't do it in a strategic fashion, and we need to evolve how we do it. So in the ecosystem, I literally just spent a lot of time talking about the first bullet on the left. In the upper left, it says ecosystem, and it says 1,700 clubs. So on homebrewassociation.org, we do have a directory. It's based on self-identification, though, and we do audit it every few years. But that's the main place in the world, frankly, if you want to know about homebrew clubs, and you all are listed there. Keep an eye on that. Let us know if we need to update any information. And then also part of the ecosystem for the AHA is interfacing with the retail supply shops, the brick and mortar ones and the online ones. I'll make a quick point that we also have a directory for them. Many of the retail supply shops are definitely having a hard time. I am very upfront to say to the retailers, we're not a representative body for a retail group. We can't do both. That'd be a conflict of interest. We're a representative body for the individual homebrewers, us as members, but we sure need to interface and support and figure out how to help these supply shops. And a really hard thing these days is, and raise your hand in the room, I can't see you on screen yet, but if you shop from Amazon in the last month, never mind the last week, right? Anybody? Oh, no, I can. I've got camera share. You shop from Amazon? Anybody? Last month, last week? Right. We're the Amazon generation. And so I can't tell you homebrew retail sales, because Amazon has so many white label resellers that maybe just sell one part that we want, and we Google for it. If we're not dedicated buying from the robust online shops like, Northern Brewer, More Beer, Midwest Homebrew Supply, all those, you're just Googling it. You're getting and supporting somebody that we can't even talk to, because we just will never know. So we don't have an ability to audit and survey the non-faces behind some of the retail sales. So we don't really know how big the homebrew market is, but we do know that those shops are having, many of them, a hard time. Some are having an easier time, and we need to interface and support them. I'll also say in the ecosystem of the AHA, still in the upper left-hand corner of this slide, The AHA started the beer judge certification program. The AHA has been around since 1978. In 1985, we helped start the BJCP. In the 90s, the BJCP went independent on their own. I'm a BJCP certified judge. In Chicago, I'll see Sandy Cockerham, who's come in for NHC first round judging, who is also on the AHA founding board. She's the president of BJCP. BJCP, when you see competitions and you enter those are technically and actually AHA BJCP sanctioned competitions. We are partner organizations. One needs the other. And I think part of growing homebrewing and bringing it back to a place of robust growth as opposed to where it's at now, which is not in a terrible state at all. By the way, homebrewing, best flipping time ever to be a homebrewer, right? We have more resources, more ingredients, more information, more access to raw materials, as well as equipment than any other time for homebrewers. But we also have an aging demographic of homebrewers. We have more beer available, excuse me, that is, amazing and world class. So some people are not brewing just because you can buy it. And so we need to focus on not just more homebrewers, but more beer judges. Competitions are a big deal. I fully believe in them. They've helped me so much as a homebrewer. I'm a big dedicated judge. I have hundreds of BJCP points and judging competitions. I've stewarded at many events. I've been competition organizer, and you all get it. But anyway, my point on that is BJCP is a companion org, and judging and competitions are essential to the future of homebrewing, and we're very active in that space still today. We got 200,000 plus followers on social. If you're not following the AHA, hundreds of thousands, 200,000 plus, follow us. Facebook, Instagram, at Homebrew Assoc. Tag us in your pictures. We love to reshare. Please follow us. It's a fun way to just, be made thirsty. Our photography makes you thirsty, makes you want to brew. So just would encourage you to get in mix there. And then we have the newsletters, biweekly newsletter. You don't have to be a member. That's just going to show you everything going on for the AHA. So if you get any information on homebrewing, just add, us, our newsletter, social following, to your diet of your information, and make sure you're visiting, homebrewersassociation.org. I'd like to say, still on the left hand of this slide under the blue bullet or the blue button, validated award-winning recipes. When we as homebrewers, and it's a we, because I obviously homebrew, look for a recipe, nobody else can give you validated. What does that mean? National Homebrew Competition is a big deal. Some of you or many of you hopefully entered this year or many previous years. Those gold medal winning recipes and often silver and bronze, we publish those year after year. We have a body of work, of a growing body of 1,000 plus recipes. So when you want to brew any style, you can go to homebrewersassociation.org and you can look at NHC gold medal winning recipes. Those are tested and tried and worth putting in the mix when you're constructing your own recipe or looking for a book that might give it to you as well. I talked about Zymergy. And moving to the kind of the upper part of the slide, American Homebrew Association. Last year, we've definitely over the years, even before I got into be your executive director, things had been cut. We had to lessen what we do. More members, more we can do. Less members, less we can do. We're about 23,000 members now. That is amazing for an individual hobbyist group. But I think we should be at 50 or 100,000, and the world would take notice based on all the resources, more marketing, etc. But anyway, we did invest last year in the AHA Forum. We reinvigorated it, moved to Discourse, not Discord, but Discourse. Amazing platform. You've got volunteer leaders that are fellow AHA members that are the moderators. Whether you're a homebrewing mentor and you want to mentor others and share information and answer their questions, or you have questions and want to get them answered, if you haven't been on the AHA Forum and membership's not required, please check it out. AHA Forum off the homebrewersassociation.org website. Amazing body of work, more than 10 years strong, with incredible in-depth information on so much that you might need to, want in your back pocket if you're looking to have better brew days and more information, as well as, more advanced community. Apparently my voice is hoarse, so I'll wrap it up soon. But member deals in the upper right-hand corner. If you are a AHA member, by the way, for less than $50 a year, that's what it costs. It's $49 a year. Our member deals, if you use them, will pay for your membership tenfold back, depending on how often you use them. And I always like to point out, don't skip the online deals. AHA member deals, we definitely, receive and listen to constructive criticism and all the positive feedback too. I get it. And a lot of the local discounts have had not standards maybe applied over the years, and we've added them, and they're just not robust enough. Or the staff, if you go into an establishment, you really need to explain it to them, and that's understandable. But we have really cool online deals. So when you go to your member deals on homebrewersassociation.org, at the top of the state list is online deals. Please look at those exclusive discounts. BAP Brewery Awards platform that we use for National Homebrew Competition. And if you're a competition organizer, they give you your first fee off. It's a $75 value. 20% off Cicerone study materials and the first level test through the Beer Savvy software. FH Steinbart offers online discount for shopping online. So like lots of really cool stuff. Travel discounts on beer travel. So love to always point that out to interested homebrewers, that whether you're a member or not, that when you're a member, use those, and nobody can do what the AHA is doing in that space. Also, nobody can do what we do and match us in the homebrew holiday arena. Big Brew's right around the corner. The recipe suggested this year, you don't have to brew it. We have thousands plus recipes, as I mentioned, but we did pick a barley wine this year, twice gold medal winning in National Homebrew Competition from Larry and Donna Reuter. It's a super fun recipe. So if you want a recipe for Big Brew on May 3rd, do the Big Blimp barley wine, or pick any other recipe and brew it. Home fermentation days in August and learn to homebrew days in November. These are institutional holidays that are annual and get resources and support from the shops and from the AHA through assets and marketing. And it's all just right there. And I'm sure you all have leveraged it sometimes or often over the years. HomebrewCon, getting to that part of the slide. Big topic. As we're doing Q&A after I am done speaking, please, let's talk deeper about it. I get it. The American Homebrewers Association, and I've been a member since my 20s, as I said, one of our jobs is to gather people, and on a yearly basis, but we need to do it in a way that's not causing the organization financial losses. And when I came in, we were already contracted to do Pittsburgh, which was amazing, but AHA did not hit its numbers. And then in San Diego, amazing, but AHA did not hit its numbers because those were organized in a fashion that did not account for the changes going on and the exponential costs in how events are much more expensive to host. So with the AHA going independent, and we are moving, away from the Brewers Association, and we'll run our own organization now with your founding board with fiduciary responsibility and budgetary commitments are up to us now. We are bringing HomebrewCon back in 2026. We are nowhere near announcing where or when, but we are shooting for June 2026. And I'm excited. Look for a reinvented version of it because we cannot construct it the same way. It shouldn't be in convention centers, first of all. We're hobbyists. We're on vacation. We don't want to be in a convention center, and it's super expensive. And we also want to construct an event that, yes, unfortunately, if it does sell out, that's not great for the members that wanted to go, but at least we reach our numbers. So less than 1,000 people likely to attend, but it sure is going to be great to bring it back. So stay tuned. And then National Homebrew Competition, lower right-hand corner of the slide. 7 events. When you enter the NHC, if you enter it, it's actually 9 events this year. 7 different states. As I said, I'm in Chicago through March and April. And then we'll have Kansas City, very familiar to you all, awards. And I'm super excited. I'll be there at the end of June, and we'll live stream the ceremony. Boulevard will be hosting the final round judging. So that's 9 events when you enter the NHC. I understand that homebrewers, don't want to pay $29 to enter their event, but it's not. It's a different style event. This is the most competitive competition in the country. If you medal at final rounds in NHC, you are truly showcasing your wares against 7 other first round locations and thousands of entries. That's a big deal. And then last but not least, club insurance, 300 plus clubs insured. Forgive me, I didn't look up to see if you all are insured, but again, as a national organization, and I'm an association professional, I'm a certified association executive. I don't just understand homebrewing, but I understand what we should be doing as a mission-based organization. And what we should be doing is helping to, on the safety arena and in savings for hopefully insurance. And this insurance program's been around since 2015. And several hundred clubs each year do take advantage of that to protect their clubs from liquor liability threats, as well as they sometimes add on directors and officers insurance. So your directors and officers are insured because you guys, and I'd love to learn now that we're about to talk, are likely a nonprofit. If you're for profit, no biggie, but most homebrew clubs are nonprofit, either 501c7 or C3. So I'm curious to see where you're all at on that. Lots of other things I could say, but literally what I just described, even before us going independent, and we're going to do more and refine it, this is what the AHA is today. And so when you're a member, you're a part of this community and what we do and deliver. Didn't even mention our annual recognition awards. Nobody does awards like AHA members. We truly recognize the brightest and the best. And so I think it's a great community to be a part of. I hope you all consider that and are already or will be. And let's get to me learning a little bit more about your club. There we go.
Okay, thank you, Julia. Yeah, we do actually get insurance through the AHA. We have for many years. That's a
Awesome.
great resource for us. We unfortunately don't get the discount for having over a certain percentage of our members as members in the AHA. We every couple of years we kind of try to make a push for that, but have just barely missed it several years. So.
I'm sorry, let us know how we can help. And everyone in the room, I didn't reference this, but if 75% of your club members are AHA members, and the way that we know, you can either call us and we can cross-reference the names, or when you're individually joining, you're asked to show us if you're in a club and you just self-identify and pick Lawrence Brewers Guild. But if 75% of your club members are AHA members, we pay back the premiums for that insurance.
Which is also a fantastic resource.
Yeah, win-win.
So I have a question to get us started off. So one of the things I think the AHA does really well that I really like is collecting homebrewing statistics and sharing those with its members. I think that's fantastic to see. I know I'm always interested in that. So I guess my question for you is with the sort of shift in the craft beer market, right? The market is in a distinct decline. How do you see that playing out with homebrewers and the hobby in general?
Sure, and it's a question I get a lot. And just to kind of be clear, I like to define the fact that there's two, in that type of question, my answer accounts for two different categories or buckets. One, let's talk about AHA members, right? That's 23,000 of a community. And then the other is just homebrewers at large. And so when you talk statistics, we can only say what we think for the homebrewing community. I mentioned the difficulty on the retail sales side to be able to tell, even though we did survey retailers in 2023 and we had I think 80 plus respondents. So I can tell you the trends of those retailers. But I can't speak to how many homebrewers are. We did Nielsen, what year? 2 years ago, we did a Nielsen survey, and the data came back where we were not believing it. It said we had 50 million plus homebrewers in the United States, and I was involved in literally helping drop those questions and draft them. So we did it again. Same questions, different approach and how to get the information. And it came back that there's 32 million homebrewers in the United States, basically brewing at least, one time a year. So I would say that there's so much potential. There's such a strong community. I've talked to hundreds of clubs and retail supply shops at this point in a little over 3 years. And when you talk about just the community in clubs, that's another statistic. If there's 1,700 clubs and each club on average has 35 members. We're getting close to 50,000 people in clubs. That's close, that's double of what the AHA even has as members. So I think the statistics are strong for the active homebrewers. And so what you were just talking about is kind of the environment and the marketplace and craft brewers. So I'm a little bit on this answer and I'll wrap it up in a second. Glasses half full, glasses half empty. Glasses half full is what I just shared with you. There's almost 50,000 members estimated to be in clubs. That is extremely robust. And what if clubs all added and doubled or, grew a quarter more? That'd be amazing. And then on the marketplace side for homebrewing in itself, I think one thing that we need to focus on is that the story of homebrewing based on Hollywood, mass media, and social media, and frankly, some of our homebrewers too, has been written for us. And I think we have an opportunity to rewrite that story because I feel like when I see homebrewers referred to in mass media and social in reference, it's almost demeaning. It talks about, cis white males brewing in their basement with bellies and kind of things like that. That's not the story we need out there for homebrewers. But if it's out there and that's the one leading, then homebrewing's not going to grow. So big opportunity for the AHA to help lead in that arena. I know I will get more ability, as we get more members back, and also two, as we go independent and can experiment more, not with our current, setup, but as our own organization taking risks and our founding boards kind of chomping at the bit and ready to go. So I don't think I gave you a magic soundbite answer, Jake, to your question, but just those are some of the thoughts on my mind to a very relevant one and one that I also get pretty often.
Cool, thank you. Do we have any questions in the audience? Anybody have any questions? I thought of something while you were talking. So you mentioned that the winning recipes are tested. Does that mean that y'all have, testers that try out the recipes as they're printed?
No, not the word tested, validated, meaning they've been tasted
Right.
by BJCP judges in national homebrew competition. You don't sit at that judge table unless you're qualified. So anything we're publishing is an NHC gold medal winning recipe is been taste tested. And then that way it is really confirmed. I mean, you don't automatically get gold. That's pretty really rarely done. You can believe that recipe worked for that brewer, and those judges awarded it to be the best example of that style in the world for whatever year it won NHC.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I was going to be thoroughly surprised if y'all tested every single one of those. That's a lot. Jared, do you got a question?
That recipe, is it discussed as far as
Can you hear him?
I heard the beginning of what Jared was saying, but Jared, go ahead and maybe share it. Jake can repeat it if I say I can't hear it all.
Okay, so I just wonder if when that recipe is tested, is the full process given, the amount of boil, the amount of mash time, step mashing?
Yeah. Go ahead and look up the recipes on homebrewerassociation.org and sort them by NHC, and you will see the information.
Fair.
Yeah, I've actually pulled a few recipes off of there myself with great success. Chuck, you have a question?
I do.
Hello, Chuck.
Hello, I'm glad you're here to be able to talk with us this evening.
Thank you.
One of the questions that I have is because recently there's been all this talk of tariffs and things like that. Well, my question is tariffs in grain supply. Since many times we get a lot of our grain from Canada, besides local within the United States and European. Do you have anything to say about that?
I do not have any crystal ball. It's been a very fast-paced, evolving environment, but we're not the stock market when it comes to ingredients and commodity pricing, right? That's going to take time to trickle out and down. Plus, some of the tariffs have now been frozen. So I'm not in a good position. It would be inappropriate for me to predict but it's certainly something I'm watching. And in talking to the suppliers, RAR BSG, for example, are the sponsors along with Lalaman for Big Brew. And I bet they are certainly in the mix, and I definitely had them on my radar to touch base with next week just to see their latest read on it. And so look for the AHA to have information for members as soon as we can kind of pin down what we all might be able to expect from this.
Thank you. Chuck, I have two things to say on that. Kansas Hop Company, Kansas Malting Company. There you go.
Local, right? Local. And the craft maltsters are growing. They have their own organization now. They're bringing back heirloom types of malted barley varieties. So I love your answer there. In addition, Jake, it's true. Buying local is often very effective, and it's also keeping the money right in the backyard.
Anybody else have any questions? That's it. Well, Julia, I really do appreciate you joining us tonight, taking the time to talk to us. I know you just got off a plane, so we will let you go, and everybody give Julia a hand.
Hey, I'll say closing words is thank you right back. I don't take it for granted that y'all gave me the stage this evening, even though I would say it's a good thing to do. And I'm here, have me back in a few months. Let's keep in touch. I want to make sure that you all know you have a direct connection to me. My email's on the website. It's in Zymergy, every issue. I'm a real person here. And I do care. And I mean, this is important. My job is to steward the membership and forward our mission and vision. And the new AHA founding board that I've been working with very closely since, they got seated in February. We're constructing a new version of the AHA, your AHA. And so it's all about the future. I'm very excited on the energy and enthusiasm I'm feeling and seeing. And in whatever regard your club is having challenges or successes, keep in touch. Make sure you're sharing that with us. We'd love to publish that in Zymergy. You can be sharing that information on the AHA forum. And if you keep AHA in the mix as a member and or information, I'm very strongly believe that we back up, that will help your home brewing. And I say we often give reasons, recipes, rewards, and resources to brew. And that's a pretty great package in that membership. And if we're not doing what we should do, just chime in, keep in touch, let us know what you're thinking. And I really appreciate the time. And maybe I'll see some of you all at final round judging in June.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, y'all, have a great weeknight. Be well. Happy homebrew. It's all about the beer and the beverage. So enjoy it and have a great start to your summer once that comes around as well.
Will do.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we will take a 5-minute break for the tasting. Hurry back.